That sound? That's not a Crockett. That is a 7-year-old Anycubic Mega S, a 3D printer that was sitting in my garage collecting dust, and is cutting vinyl right now with an $8 knife that I've ordered off of AliExpress. No new machine, no expensive software subscription, just a printer that I wasn't using, an $8 blade, and a couple of hours of my weekend. And yeah, it actually works. So let me show you everything. Before I get into the build, let me explain what a drag knife actually is, because it's actually kind of a genius design and is the whole reason this works. A regular knife is fixed, you point it at the direction and push. A drag knife has a cutting edge mounted on a tiny pivot. The blade tip is offset slightly from any center of rotation, so if the machine moves any direction, the blade automatically trails behind it and self-aligns. It drags it into position. That's why it's literally called a drag knife. You don't need to spin a spindle, you don't need a laser. You just need an XY machine that can follow a path accurately. And that is exactly what a 3D printer already is. The one that I'm using is a Roland-style drag knife clone, $8 on AliExpress. The genuine Roland version costs over $50. I linked the exact one I used in the description. The Anycubic Mega S features a fairly standard toolhead design. I based my knife holder on the Mark IV Mega S toolhead footprint, and I designed the mount myself using Fusion 360. But if you don't want to design your own, there are plenty of drag knife mounts available online for all kinds of 3D printers. Just search your printer model plus drag knife holder, and you will definitely find something. The holder holds the drag knife enough so it doesn't wiggle but can move up and down. Holding the knife down is a rubber band, so you can get consistent pressure no matter the bed level. You want the blade tip pressing down just enough to cut cleanly through the vinyl and the adhesive layer on the backing, but not punching through the backing paper itself. That pressure is dialed in with the Z height and rubber band stretching. I printed mine in PETG, 20% infilled, 4 walls, totally solid. I designed it so that it can replace the whole entire tool head, but most designs online are an add-on to the toolhead and not a full replacement. Now, I used a linear rail instead of relying on the mount's tolerance. I'm not counting that in the $8 total because it's way too overkill for an average user. The linear rail just helps with accuracy on fine details. Totally optional because most mounts found online dial in the perfect tolerance to wiggle ratio. Actually, really quick before I go further, only 1% of the people watching my videos are actually subscribed. So if you're watching this and you're not subscribed and you're enjoying the content, just hit the subscribe button. It's free, it takes half a second, and it means YouTube actually shows you the next videos. Okay, back to it. Alright, hardware sorted. Now the software. This is the part that I was most nervous about, and it ended up being completely painless. The software is called PolyCut. It's made by a developer called Iridium.io. It's completely free, it's open source, and you can find it on GitHub. Links in the description. It's built specifically for turning 3D printers and CNC machines into vinyl cutters and pen plotters. What PolyCut does is take an SVG file, that's your design, and convert it into G-code that your printer can run. You put in your knife offset, your cut speed, your Z height for the knife down position, and it handles all the path planning. You export the G-code, put it on an SD card or send it over Wi-Fi, and the printer runs exactly like a normal print job. No firmware changes, nothing weird. Now, the file format. Everything in this workflow is SVG. SVG stands for Scalable Vector Graphics. Unlike a PNG or a JPEG, which are made of pixels, an SVG is made of paths. Mathematical lines and curves. Basically a set of coordinates, go here, draw a line, to here, arc to here, close the shape. That matters because the cutter follows paths. It doesn't understand pixels, it understands move to this coordinate, curve to this coordinate. SVG gives it exactly that. And because SVG is resolution independent, your cuts are always perfectly sharp, no matter the size you scale them to. So what if you got a logo or a design that's PNG? Because most things you find online are going to be PNGs. The easiest free tool that I found is a website called png2svg.com. No account, no download, just runs in your browser about 30 seconds. Let me show you. You land right on the upload box, drag your PNG onto it, it automatically traces the image and converts it into vector paths. You can see the result in the preview right there. For simple logos and flat artworks with clear edges, the output is clean and instant. For photos and complex gradients, it's not great. This works best on high contrast flat designs. Hit download and you'll get your SVG file, and you're done. Drop it straight into PolyCut. One thing you watch out for, if your image has a white background, make sure it's transparent before you upload it. Otherwise the tracer will include that white background as a shape. Your cutter will try to cut a big rectangle around your whole design. You can remove the background with remove.bg or just delete the background layer in any basic image editor first. Okay, let's actually cut something. For holding the vinyl down to the bed, I use double-sided tape. But here's the thing, fresh double-sided tape is way too aggressive and you rip your vinyl. So what you do is stick a piece of cloth to the tape a few times and it'll lose most of its stack. You'll get firm hold that keeps the vinyl flat and doesn't shift during cut. But when you're done, it peels off cleanly without damaging anything. Works perfectly. I'm running this at 30mm per second. That ended up being my sweet spot. Fast enough to be practical, slow enough that the blade tracks cleanly around corners and curves. A few things I learned the hard way. Z-height is everything. Too low and the knife skips and it doesn't cut through. Too low and you punch through the backing paper. Spend 10 minutes dialing your Z offset with a small test square before you run a full design. Just cut a small circle, try to weed it, if it's clean, you're good. If it tears, you're too deep. If nothing cuts, you need more Z offset. Speed and cut depth interact. Faster speeds want a tiny bit more downward pressure. Slower speeds are better for fine detail and small text. Always do a test cut in that corner of your material. Always. Takes 30 seconds and saves you from wasting a big sheet. Here's a full cut time lapse. This is a medium complexity logo, about 100mm wide, 3 minutes 40 seconds from start to finish. That is genuinely indistinguishable from something cut on a machine that costs $500. Let me be transparent about the actual cost. Roland-style drag knife, $8 shipped from AliExpress. The knife holder, I said about 40 cents of PETG filament. PolyCut software, free. PNG to SVG.com, free. The printer, I already owned it. Total new money spent on this project, $8.40. Now, can you buy a cheap dedicated vinyl for under $100? Yes. Should you? Maybe. But if you got a 3D printer sitting around and not doing anything, this is a genuinely capable setup for almost nothing. You're not compromising, you're repurposing. I'll be honest about the limitations too. Your cut area is limited to your printer's XY travel. It's slower than a high-end dedicated plotter, and you spend some time calibrating upfront. But for stickers, decals, labels, iron on vinyl, and small signs, this machine holds its own completely. Everything you see here is in the description. The link to the drag knife, the GitHub for PolyCut, and PNG to SVG, all free except the $8 knife. And if you're one of the 99% of people watching this who aren't still subscribed, if you enjoyed this video, hit the button. I've got more projects like this coming and I genuinely don't want you to miss them. If you have a question about this, drop a comment below. I read every single one. See you in the next one.